thought about giving up, it may cross my mind probably every day. My name is Amira Shanice. I'm the creator of New York Girls TV. I'm an editor, director, writer, producer, but most importantly, I'm a starving writer. Oftentimes, I may not even have a full-blown scene in mind, right? I may just have a quote, or I may have a conversation in mind between two characters. So I just write it down. I write it down because, number one, I don't want to forget it. And also, you never know those bits and pieces that can come together. And for me, that's usually what happens.
So I wanted to know, like, what is your process, right? Like, after you write something and then you're directing it.
As I'm writing, I literally take my time to think of each character, how they would say certain things, how they would think about it. And sometimes I have to take a step back and come back to that piece just to have a fresh thought. I had really no idea what I was doing in terms of producing when I started New York Girls. I had the scripts, I knew the story I wanted to tell, I knew I needed a cast, and I knew I needed a camera person. So those were my top three. If you watch old episodes of New York Girls, you could see that there wasn't too much planning in terms of pre-production and behind the scenes. And I think me grinding on my own like that for basically 4 seasons of a web series, I was able to learn so much. So much. I grew so much over the last 6 years that I've been doing this, that now it kind of comes second nature to me. So a lot of things I'm able to multitask with and get much done earlier. Right now, I am in the pre-production phase for season 2 of phase 6. That's having meetings with my cast and my crew, determining what equipment we need, writing the scripts. Once the script is done, I go right into casting and creating a schedule. Coming from a show like New York Girls, automatically I'm just like, okay, people are going to compare it to that. They're going to think this is replacing New York Girls when it's not. It's really just me expanding my brand and my talent. I want to make sure moving forward with season 2 that I not only capitalize off of everything I gained from season 1, but that I make it bigger and better. And that's starting, number 1, with the storyline. The story has to be there. And with phase 6, I want to make sure that I have that same momentum and that same attitude in terms of what story are you trying to tell this season, and let's stick with it and not get distracted from that. Because this season we're doing a lot more emotional scenes, a lot of more dramatic, in-depth. We're finding out really who everybody kind of is, family background. Tammy's going to therapy. Like, it's a lot of different dynamics.
Yes, needs a therapist.
Just need a therapist.
She sure did.
Before writing season 2 of phase 6, the first thing I did was binge watch. I binge watched season 1 and jotted down what stood out to me, any storylines that were incomplete, any questions that went unanswered. Also, what was important for me, especially coming into season 2, because season 1, we focused on Jessica's relationship with Maya and her getting over that. Now, season 2, I want to focus on relationships in general, whether they're looking for a relationship or they need to complete the relationship they have with themselves. So what's really been a help is making sticky notes for each character and each relationship that I feel needs to be explored more in season 2. For example, I have a sticky note with April, Tammy, and Jessica. Those are 3 friends. Season 1, I left off with Jessica and Tammy kind of beefing, right? So what do you do when you're April and 2 of your friends are no longer speaking to each other? I wrote that on a sticky note. That right there can give me so many different ideas in terms of April and her scenes and how she's moving.
you really played the middle ground between Jessica and Tammy, and it really read in your character. Like, your loyalty was consistently shown. Like, girl, the amount of times you said Tammy and Tammy wasn't there, I'm like, my bitch better ride for me. There's nobody else on my side.
We're not sure where her relationship stands with Tammy or where it stands with Frankie, but we do know that she wants to focus on herself, and she knows that she hasn't healed from her past relationship. So that is her focus, right? That was her focus leaving off. So opening season 2, that is the same momentum. I want to show her in her element. I want to show her loving herself and being happily single and what that looks like. I do my best writing and I tell the best stories when I'm actually able to step outside of my own thoughts. When I allow my thoughts and the stories to just roam freely versus me picking my brain and forcing myself to figure out what happens.